pot. Thought we were doing that pork pot. You can't fuck with her. Yeah. Hog maw, pig ear. Chillin'. Yeah, this shit going down, man. Thought we were doing that pork pot.
We in trouble today. Oh man. I got me a nice bed of rice right here. I got my coon cooked down inside some gravy right here. There's some good eating right here. Look at that. I'm going right in. I ain't even waiting for it. Woo-wee! Yes, sir. Nice and tender. The smell. Oh, I'm just gonna go. I'm going all in. I don't care. I don't care. And what we need with that? Hold up. I got some yams right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hold up. Let me get a little juice for y'all. Get a little juice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on, I ain't done yet. I like diabetes in my yams. And what go good with that? A piece of cornbread. Now that's good eating right there. Good country eating. We got a coon, we got the gravy, we got some carrots in there, we got some onions in there, we got little potatoes cooked down inside there, and we got the cornbread. I get my hot sauce, that's all we need right there. I'm out. We in trouble today.
Okay, y'all, back for part 2. We done let the raccoon soak and brown for at least 14 hours, maybe 15. Now let's see what this bad boy look like. Okay. Look at that. Yeah, disease. Did y'all see them gums? Go back and look. Ooh. I chopped up the vegetables. My man had to sit there, you know, dress up the pan real nice. Added that butter, added some thyme. You got to have time to cook a raccoon, like real time, and thyme seasoning. On the grill, he was gonna go. It was cold. I made my man put on a pullover because, baby, we can't get sick. So he stayed on the grill for about an hour and a half. And then those are wood chips soaked in, was it beer or was it vinegar? I don't know. But we had to check. Look at that. His legs started sticking out, so he had to come off the grill, and it was real cold outside. So look at that. Jet legs all open. No self-respect. No moral. Okay, we had to get him submerged in there. That came with a couple of limbs being took off. Look at that. Call my man if you need some help. All right, stay tuned for part 3.
Yeah, a little story time. So I raise birds for meat and I raise birds for eggs. And some wild animals been getting in my backyard, coming on my land, eating my eggs and eating my birds. So I thought I'm about to eat their ass then. Since you took food out of my mouth, now you food. So this is me trying a possum for the first time. And this was legal. I'm allowed to trap and hunt any raccoon and possum on my property that's causing danger to my property or anybody on my property.
All year long. Jerk possum. It tastes like beef jerky. Exactly like beef jerky. What the fuck? That shit good as fuck. I ain't even gonna hold you. That shit.
Yeah, a little story time.
See, that's niggas for you, man. That's niggas for you. Jake's diet is the reason why they the highest in disease, and they don't live long, and they got all kinds of health problems, man. It's the reason why the Lord is about to bring all kinds of wrath, judgment, and vengeance upon you stupid ass niggas, man. Cause look at what Jake doing, man. And we was once in that form of darkness, but a lot of this stuff is, you know, done in the South, man. Eating all kind of rodents and stuff like that. They be eating alligator. Niggas be eating. They be all kind of stuff, man. Squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, possums, you know, and all kinds of pork and stuff like that, man. But then, like, they label it as being country, you know. They take pride in that shit down here in the South. They look at being country as it gives them a pass and justifies them eating abominable, unclean animals, right? Let me go to a scripture real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 1. It's verse 2. It says, "Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, which are the children of Israel." Right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, Hispanic. And this people, have rebelled against me. Right? Their righteous standard that he have set for us to follow. We rebelled against it. Wanted to do what we wanted to do, not what the Lord required of us. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. The ox and the ass are two of the most stubborn animals that God created. But Israel doth not know. My people do not consider. Not only are these animals stubborn, they're not intelligent. They're stupid animals, right? So Israel is worse than the ox and the ass. They outdo the ox and the ass, which is animals, beasts, in terms of stupidity, ignorance, and stubbornness, being hard-headed, stiff-necked, right? They don't consider the Lord. They don't consider his ways. They don't consider his righteousness. They don't consider his law. Right? They don't know. They don't know. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So they don't have it, and when it's presented to them, they reject it. A sinful nation. Sin is what? The transgression of the law. A people laden with iniquity. A seed of evildoers. Children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. So a sinful nation of people laden up with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, corrupters, that's describing niggas. Niggas are sinful. Niggas are laden with iniquity. Niggas are evildoers. Niggas are corrupters, man. And these niggas have forsaken their God, the Lord. And they provoke him to anger continually, man. And they're not progressive. They're not going forward, making amends with the Lord, returning to the Lord, turning over a new leaf, becoming that new creature renewed in Yahweh Shai. In truth, righteousness, and holiness, man. Trying to do better. Trying to do what the Lord requires, what pleases the Lord. They want nothing to do with it. They're going away backward. They're regressive people. Primitive people. Beast-like, right? But this is black culture, especially in the South, where I'm from. The black church, they teach that God's law is done away with, and you can just do all kinds of evil in the Most High's sight because we under grace, as they teach. They lack understanding. These preachers lack understanding. And these preachers, the preachers of Christianity, religion and Christianity, it shapes and molds the minds of so-called black people, niggas, Israel, Jacob, right? Christianity has a part to play, a huge part to play in the molding of a nigga, the programming of a nigga. Christianity is the reason why Jake was a big reason why Jake does the things that Jake do. Why they eat the things that they eat. Why they behave and conduct themselves in the manner that they do today. Christianity, man. The black church. It shapes and molds them into who they are today. The black church plays a big part in that, along with rap and just things that they was taught by their parents and the culture, so forth and so on. Right? The school system and things of that nature. But they believe and teach that they have freedom to transgress the Lord's laws willingly through white Jesus, man. Because that's all Christianity is. It's a white supremacist / feminist cult. And the Most High's righteous law, they think that it's restrictive and oppressive and outdated and something that's supposed to be ignored and disannulled or made null and void, right? But when you compare and contrast sin, and sin is transgression of the law, when you compare and contrast sin and black culture, it's no difference. It's the same exact thing, right? Sin is the culture, especially here in America, and it has corrupted the earth. The American poison has spread around the world, and all these other nations doing the same thing, right? The way niggas eat, the way that niggas do family and relationships, and the religion they conform to, their behavior and actions, the things that they believe, the ideologies that they subscribe to, all of that is completely in opposition to what the Lord deems acceptable. And the Most High, I say the God that they claim to worship, they man, and it's so crazy. Like it make you wonder what God that they actually serve, because it's not the God of the Bible, right? It's the God of Christianity, and a lot of times Jake make up their own God in their own mind, right? A God that is cool with what they cool with. Basically, really, their God is their flesh. Honestly. Really, their God is their own mind. They follow their own thoughts, what they think is right. They should go about to establish their own righteousness instead of submitting to the righteousness of the Most High. But the Lord's law and His ways are perfect, man. Right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 19, in verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Simple means stupid or ignorant, right? The law makes you wiser. The statutes of the Lord are right. Rejoice in the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. So, the statutes, the law is right and perfect, right and clean. Hence, in this subject matter, we're talking about the dietary law. And I'm not going to go through the whole Leviticus 11. We should know this by now. This is one of the first things that you learn when you come into this truth. The true understanding, the true wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Bible, how it's supposed to be taught. Right? But we know the things that a lot of our people consume in the so-called black community is wrong, according to what the Lord deems acceptable. And when you analyze all these different creatures that Jake eat, our bodies, our DNA, Israel, we wasn't designed to eat certain things that the Lord said we shouldn't eat. These scriptures, these commands were for our own good, right? It's for our own good. Like, for an example, pork, it carries a plethora of parasites. It's a lot of things wrong with this meat, right? It's toxic and carry parasites and, so forth and so on. The Lord knows about this certain creation, right? And it consumes. It's a walking, breathing dumpster, garbage. You dispose waste to this creature. It's a cleaner, right? Just like catfish and vultures, buzzards. They're cleaners of the earth. What niggas do? They turn around and eat them. When the Lord said not to, but when you consume them, you have all these different diseases. So if you adhere to that, that makes you wiser than the other people that do eat it. Because this meat has problems, and when you analyze, like, you should never, when the Lord tells you to do something, you should never question it. Because it's always more than meets the eye. It's always something, it's always a deeper meaning behind it. It's a reason why the Lord gave us these laws. It's a reason why the Lord said don't eat certain animals and creatures, man. Right? It's a reason why. But our people like to question the Lord. They reject it, right? They reject it, right? I'm gonna get to this right here in 2 Kings, but I'm gonna grab these two before I get there. Sirach 17 and 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and a law of life for an heritage. It's not the law of death. It's the law of life, right? That's what the Lord's ways produce. The Lord's ways produce life, right? But, really, we can't keep the law perfect because, of course, we're in captivity. And plus, the law is, it can't be kept perfectly, even if we was in our homeland. And we had the freedom and the liberty to engage freely into our own culture. Hebrew culture, Hebrew Israelite culture. All righteousness comes by the faith of Yahweh Shai and his sacrifice. right? The just shall live by his faith. Nevertheless, a man that does the law, adheres to the law, he got to live in it, you know. And whether he falls short, the blood of Yahweh shall cleanse him from all sins through faith, right, in him. You have to believe on him as the scripture have said, though. His true image, his true nature. Romans 7 and verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. The law is not evil. We just can't keep it perfectly because we're in the flesh. We're corruptible. We're imperfect. But the law is the law, right? And also, Yahweh Shah perfected the law. You know, because he said in the scriptures, let me grab it real quick. If thou will be perfect, let me see. Matthew 19 and verse verse 17, it says, I'll give verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing what shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto them, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is the Most High. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. They don't teach you. They didn't bring this precept out in the black church, man. You read this to a Christian, you read this to a nigga, average nigga, they'll think that you reading some type of other Bible. That it's the same Bible that all you niggas got on your kitchen table that's collecting dust because you niggas never read. Verse 18, he said unto him, which Yahushua said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yahushua said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, see? If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. See? So, like it says in Revelation, here are they which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the faith of Yahweh Shah, the elect. So the law can't make you perfect, but yet you still have to live in it to the best of your ability. But that perfection, true righteousness, comes by faith of Yahweh Shah. So you have to have two together, faith and the works, which most niggas don't have, right? 2 Kings 17 and 14. This is how niggas react to this day against the Lord's law. Notwithstanding, they will not hear, but harden their necks, like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Lord their God. Most niggas today in the black community do not believe in the Lord their God, and they harden their necks. Stiff-necked, hard-headed niggas, man. They rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. See? And they followed vanity and became vain. So they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers and his testimonies, right? And we've spoken to many Jakes being in the truth, especially they of our own family. They reject the Lord's statutes, and you become their enemy through telling them the truth. They hate you for telling them to put the pork down, to stop doing this, to stop doing that. That's against the righteousness of the Lord. The Lord wants you to do this. The Lord don't want you to do that. They hate you for telling them that shit. Jake want to do what they want to do. They want to follow the ways of their own heart. They want to lean into their own understanding. They don't want to submit to the righteousness of the Most High. They want to do what pleases their flesh. They don't want to follow the Spirit of the Most High. And they follow vanity. That's what most niggas do today. Vain as hell. And went after the heathen that are round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. So they want to copy the ways of the heathen. Which leads me to this video. Right?
Today we're cooking the world's deadliest animals. Starting with lionfish. Crazy lion-like stripes. They have 18 venomous spines that cause excruciating pain, but the taste was mind-blowing. Rich and buttery, it was very similar to Chilean sea bass. Some of the best fish I've ever had. I'm shocked. Next up, bear. With some surprisingly clean white fat, not only can bears attack you, but the meat is often laced with trichinosis, so made sure to cook it past well done. It reminded me of a flank steak and brisket hybrid. I like it. Next up, piranha. So technically this is...
It says that bear was often laden with trichinosis, man. So there's a reason why you're not supposed to eat bear, Israel. Because of shit like that.
Pacu, a close cousin, and while rare, piranha attacks can happen when humans disturb their nests. With a strong flavor, it was super unique. It's like nothing I've ever had before, but I do like it. Next up, pufferfish. Easily the one I'm most worried about. With enough venom to put down 30 humans in just one fish, please do not play around with this one. Absolutely not worth the risk. Next, jellyfish. With thousands of tiny venomous harpoon-like barbs, they're responsible for 100 deadly attacks a year, and they taste great in a cold, tangy Chinese salad, but for some reason the one I made today was not great. That is extremely fishy. Believe it or not, deer are extremely dangerous. I was like a deer in headlights when I learned that there are 1 million deer vehicle collisions per year in the US alone. Clearly, they're way better on a dinner plate than on the road.
10 out of 10.
Believe it or not, buffalo are one of Africa's most deadly animals. Weighing up to 2,000 pounds, they're apparently super aggressive, but the flavor is deeper, earthier, and...
Buffalo and a deer are devised to hoof and choose to cut. They're lawful.
Even more rich than something like bison.
So juicy.
Next is bees. If allergic, their sting can lead to anaphylactic shock. I slow cooked this fish in hot beeswax with shockingly good results. Super juicy, almost like it was sous vide with a really unique flavor.
It's like floral.
Next up, crocodile, or alligators in this case, which apparently can be extremely aggressive towards humans. Honestly, even buttermilk brined then fried up, this one for some reason came out very dry.
It's so hard to chew.
We've arrived in nightmare fuel territory with scorpions. And of course, we got 3 varieties to try.
It's crunchy chocolate and it's gross.
Next up, coyote. This is the ribeye. Decided to try a traditional Korean style soup, but even the strong spices and flavors could not cover up the excessively, and I mean excessively, gamey flavor.
It's tender and it sucks.
Next up, snake. With 5.4 million snake bites per year, they can be extremely dangerous. Brined, breaded, and fried, and this was absolutely not it. This is actually inedible. Snails. While they might look harmless, they can be a host for some severe toxins, which is why it's critical to cook them through. But when done right with tons of butter, there's nothing better. Kinda reminds me of like a scallop almost. Believe it or not, the most deadly animal in the world is the humble mosquito. Apparently in Africa, they're sometimes turned into mosquito burgers for their high protein content, though needless to say, it was not for me.
You see, it's the reason why the Lord said that we not supposed to do after the heathen. See, Jake went after the heathen that are around about them. This heathen shit. Heathen eat all types of unclean stuff. The Lord said that that they, which is the Israelites, his people, should not do like them. Don't do the shit that they do. They eat all this bullshit. right? This a heathen, a Edomite, a child of Esau, which the scriptures say he's profane, wicked, right? It's only two lawful animals that's permitted to eat in the law, which is the deer and the buffalo. And that should look good though. Anyways, next precept, Ezekiel chapter 11, starting at 10. This gonna fall upon these niggas in this lifetime. Prophecy. Ye shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in the border of Israel, and you shall know that I am the Lord. This city shall not be your cauldron, neither shall ye be the flesh in the midst thereof. But I will judge you in the border of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. For ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but have done after the matters of the heathen that are round about you. See? Jake have done and after the manner of the heathen that are round about him. They continue to do that shit to this day. Not walking in the Lord's statutes, man. And that main heathen nation that they do after the manner of is Esau. Well, when Esau, it says here, Hebrews 12, lest there be, in 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, for one morsel of his meat sold his birthright. So Esau and his children are known to be profane, to desecrate. It's the etymology of the word, to treat holy things with irreverence. And you can really in that context of Hebrews chapter 12, I think it's chapter 12, yeah, chapter 12, that holy thing that Esau treated with irreverence was the birthright. But the holy thing in the context of the video, the reason why I got this precept, the holy things is scriptures. Because we just read here in Romans 7 and 12 that the law is holy. See? And the commandment holy and just and good. So that would be considered a holy thing. And the so-called white man treated with irreverence. They don't respect the laws of the Most High. That's why they're known as the wicked in the scriptures. The so-called white people. Mainly the so-called white man. To desecrate, render unholy, violate. So the Edomites are unholy, which Jake loved following after the ways of the so-called white man. You know? Jake loved Esau. Because they've been duped through Christianity that the Lord, that the Father, the Son, and the Israelites, all the holy prophets, they're all white people. That's a lie. The scriptures clearly tell you how they look. Dark skin. Read Revelation 1 and 14 on down, and Revelation the 5th chapter. And also in Daniel as well. I think it's chapter 12, if I'm not mistaken. But Esau is unholy, and he violates the laws of the Most High. And Jake want to be like them and do it. They're wicked, right? Ignorant, unlearned, also wicked and impious. That's described in the so-called white man. And if you And if Jake, conform to his ways, that will make them that too. Right? Psalms 10 and verse 4, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High, the Father, is not in all his thoughts. His ways are grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. See? As for his enemies, he puffeth at them. So the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. And the Most High is not in all his thoughts. Again, Jake take on that form of thinking. Because as a ruler of the people is, so are all the people that dwell in his city, roughly paraphrasing this in Sirach. As a judge of the people himself, so are his subjects, paraphrasing. So so-called white man is ruling the earth, Job 9 and 24, right? Earth's been given into his hands. The Lord setteth up over the bases of men. The bases of men is set up over the earth today. So he has influenced the vast majority of our people, right? That's why our women love the so-called white man. They bleach their skin, they put contacts in, they wear blonde wigs, they change their voice in the presence of an Edomite, and he could be a bottom shelf Brad. Dirty ass, pissy ass, white trash, trailer park ass Edomite. And to treat him like he God, man. Real talk. With the utmost respect and reverence. Worship him. Speak in the sweetest tone. And Jake want to dress like him in the suits and stuff like that and shave off all their facial hair. So forth and so on, man. But Jake becomes like the so-called white man when he take on his vibration and energy and spirit, man, and his ways. Scriptures say, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. But that's what Jake do. So the Most High is not in all Jake thoughts, man. With their mouth, they show much love, but their heart is far from him, right? That's Jake. I paraphrased that already. Let's end it off on this. Jeremiah 6 and 15. Were they ashamed that they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. There's no shame in the so-called black community no more. There's no shame when they commit abominable acts, when they do disgusting shit in the eyes of the Lord. Eating all that BS, man, that's disgusting. Right? This is disgusting. In the eyes of the Lord, man. This is abomination. They're not ashamed to eat these things. No shame. They proudly do it. Right? Therefore, so as a result, because they're not ashamed in the evil things that they do, therefore shall they fall among them that fall. At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, says the Lord. So the Lord's going to kill them. The Lord's going to kill them off. When you look up the word visit, it means to inflict something harmful, right? Let's look that up real quick. To visit, inflict something harmful or unpleasant on someone. See? To afflict, attack, trouble, right? Torture, Jacob's trouble, man. The Lord's gonna bring trouble upon these niggas. And they're gonna die of all kind of plagues and evils that the Lord gonna send upon the world. Because they won't hearken and listen to the Lord, and they reject him. So it's a penalty for their actions, man. It's consequences. And it's shortly to come, man. And when it come, we just gonna sit back and enjoy the show and watch all these niggas fall, man. Because before pride goes destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. And Jake has that haughty, prideful spirit. So hopefully this video was edifying. Till next time, peace.